I am sorry, but I can help with that.
I've been looking into crimes near Miall Korean Medicine Clinic in Seoul. And it feels like the shop fronts around there have a habit of turning into little traps for tourists. You know, especially if you're only staying for a couple of weeks. The first kind of place you might see is a bakery that pretends to be the official Gangnam bread shop. After the big political gift the bakery got, a lot of fake stalls popped up a short walk from the clinic, putting up signs that say official Gangnam. Tourists bought the real loaf for double the price and later realized it was just a copy. I guess most of them probably went back to the real bakery to ask for a refund, felt embarrassed, and maybe even posted angry comments online. The scammers likely got a warning from the police and had the fake signs taken down, but they might have moved to another street, hoping the tourists wouldn't notice. Another typical scam near Miall Korean Medicine Clinic is the pop-up fashion store that says you can get luxury brands for 80% off. These tiny tents appear near the subway entrance and shout "Today only." People buy hoodies and think they got a bargain, only to find out the clothes are fake or never arrive. I imagine the victims tried to contact the seller, got no answer, and maybe reported it to the local office, feeling cheated and losing a bit of their travel budget. The owners probably disappeared overnight, and the authorities might have issued a fine or shut the stall. But another pop-up could appear soon enough. You also see stores that look like they came from an Instagram ad, promising discounted designer items. They lure you inside, you pay, and then they hand you a low-quality fake or say the order will be delivered tomorrow, which never happens. The tourists most likely returned later, found the shop renamed or closed, and posted warnings on social media, feeling annoyed and a little scared to walk into any shop. The shop owners probably faced a small investigation and either relocated or stopped advertising that way. Finally, there are the mobile payment shops a little farther from the clinic that convince you to use a QR code for a tiny discount. Then they keep charging tiny amounts over weeks until the total is huge. Visitors usually notice the extra charges on their bank app after they already home. They probably called their bank, felt angry, and maybe filed a complaint with the telecom company. The shop owners were likely tracked down by the payment service and forced to refund the money or face a larger legal penalty. All these things make the area around Miall Korean Medicine Clinic feel a bit like a maze of false promises, especially if you only there for a short visit.
The businesses circling Miall Korean Medicine Clinic feel like they were all designed on the same rainy afternoon by someone who hates people and loves price tags. I walked out of the clinic feeling lighter, then the neighborhood put the weight back on, inside my wallet, on my skin, inside my ears, until every step away from the clinic's door felt like sinking into a tar pit where politeness goes to die. Department stores here do not sell things, they sell the shame of wanting things. At Galleria Luxury Hall West the marble sparkles, yes, but it sparkles like a knife under cafe lighting. Foreign shoppers soon discover that the sparkle is exclusively for Koreans. If your passport is a different color, the staff treat you like a ghost that hasn't figured out how to stop breathing. One attendant tailed a guest so closely they could see their own reflection in the back of the clerk's sunglasses, a moving mugshot. When the guest tried to pay, the card reader somehow developed stage fright and forgot English. Valet parking costs more than the actual scarf you came to buy. They recommend you tip $50, so your Hyundai doesn't sit in purgatory for 20 minutes, while you contemplate why you paid a month's rent for a silk square the size of a napkin. The whole place feels like attending a charity gala where the charity is the store itself and you still leave thirsty. Spas in this zip code have studied the art of promising enlightenment and delivering a shoulder pat. Yoingguk Korean spa markets premium intensive care that turns out to be 3 10-minute acts, a back rub you could get from a subway seat during rush hour, a face poking session with copper gardening tools, and a facial smear that costs the same as a domestic flight. Guests on the costliest package still leave wondering whether the masseuse's fingers actually moved or if time itself simply folded in boredom. The robes are plush, the tea is warm, the aftertaste is tuition fee regret. Rooftop bars near the clinic appear engineered for the single purpose of proving altitude cannot improve attitude. The roof Seoul is a terrace the size of a rich child's bedroom. They herd tourists up there like pigeons on a power line, then charge 15,000 won for a shot of soju that tastes like it was poured from a previously enjoyed cup. Signs forbid you from sitting until every member of your group is physically present. One woman was escorted back downstairs because her boyfriend spent too long in the restroom, leaving her unaccompanied, like hand luggage that might explode. The view looks out onto other rooftops with other tourists asking other overworked waiters why the $12 mocktail is the size of a capful of tears. Even the jazz bar wants interest on your soul. Sound Dog hides inside a traditional market, promising sultry saxophone nights, then bills you $10 for a bottle of beer and a seat that feels like a detention desk. The performers play beautifully, but every trumpet solo ends with the drummer tipping his cymbal toward the audience as if to say, applause pays rent too. You clap because you're scared not to. The exit is dark and the alley darker. Cocktail temples here mistake darkness for class. Charles H., 5-star hotel basement, lights candles so low you read the menu with your third eye. Drinks arrive watered down like the apology you get after you complain. One couple received a complimentary swallow of champagne on Christmas. Later, they discovered $18 hiding on the bill like an unwanted relative. A guest nodded off on a